All right, so Manchester United are currently in Asia and are going to be kicking off their first postseason match on Wednesday against ASEAN All-Stars. I hope I pronounced that right. And then on Friday the 30th, we're going to be playing Hong Kong. Welcome back to the Glory Reds channel, and we're going to talk a little bit about our first two postseason matches. Because, man, this season has been one heck of a ride, but we're definitely going to be getting more into that. So if you're not subscribed to us on Spotify, do subscribe and you will find the full-length video where I break down how this season has been for me, for the fans, for everybody. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Wednesday's match. All right, so just from the United website, Ruben Amorim has selected a 32-man squad for the trip to Asia, which contains a blend of experience and youth. Matthias de Ligt, Alejandro Garnacho, Andre Onana, Luke Shaw, and Joshua Zirkzee have all been picked despite missing that clash against Unai Emery's side, which, we won the match. Controversial decisions over there, but hey, man, we'll take the win. All right. Mazraoui and Lenny Yoro have not made the trip. It doesn't really state why they haven't made the trip, but that's fine. Not really concerned about that. Christian Eriksen and Victor Lindelof are also absent at the time because their contracts have come to an end, although Johnny Evans has made the trip. So whether he's going to play or not, I don't know. All right. So in terms of the squad, right? So maybe some of you are thinking, okay, but surely these teams are not strong teams, right? It's postseason, players are tired. Why are we even getting involved in this competition? But basically, this team, from how I understand it, and you know what, let me not even paraphrase. I'm just going to scroll down, and you guys can find this article on the Manchester United website and have a look for yourself. So this team, the ASEAN All-Stars, was first formed in 2014 for a charity event to aid the victims of the typhoon that happened in the Philippines. Representing the Association of the Southern Asian Nations, or ASEAN, I think that's how you pronounce it. The team has been reunited for the Reds' visit, right? So it is a symbolic match. It's not just one of those matches that we wouldn't, respect or consider or even take seriously. So why the first team? Why a blend of the first team and the youth? And maybe some of you are like, just send the youth, let them get experience, etc., etc. Look, this is Manchester United. We have a global presence, I'm pretty sure wherever you are in the world, and maybe if you're not from the UK, if you're living out in Africa, Asia, Australia, US, whatever, if United are on tour, surely you would want to see the best players from United coming through, witness how they play, see them in person, get autographs, etc., etc., etc. So it's imperative for the club, to fulfill its commercial duties, so to say. I know how some of us may feel about it, but think about it for yourself. Let's just say you're out in Namibia, for example, and you heard Manchester United were coming through to play one of your local sides. Surely you would want the first team to come through so you can have, an experience of a United first team in action live, right? And not to say that the youth don't hold that same presence, but let's get real. I mean, we want to see the Bruno Fernandes. We want to see the Casemiros. We want to see the Amad Diallos. When are we ever going to get that type of opportunity to witness the first team players in action? So it makes sense why they needed to be a good blend of the first team players that needed to travel and a mixture of the youth to also just give them that experience and that exposure as well to the world. Now, I'm not really going to get into anything tactical or a match preview, so to say, and say, oh, this is how we're going to set up, this is how we're going to play. It's a charity match for one. So, I don't think anything noteworthy is there to even talk about or say. I don't even know if I've ever played this team before in the past. Second game is against Hong Kong. Again, it's a postseason match. You can't really expect so much from the match. You can't really get anything of value watching the match and saying, oh, this is how Ruben this for the next season, etc. It's just going to be a nice, friendly match just to sort of, I guess, cool down from the season that we had, and were not going to be involved in the tournament, in the Club World Football Tournament. So yeah, I guess this is going to be it up until I think July is when we're gonna start having our first preseason, our first official preseason matches. But yeah, that's it. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is Alejandro Garnacho. All right, because Alejandro Garnacho has traveled with the squad, right? And we all know what has happened post the end of the season with Alejandro Garnacho's comments in the media, right? So Alejandro Garnacho made some comments. In fact, it's wild because Garnacho's not the only person who expressed some opinions, right? So he made opinions. Luke Shaw made opinions. Bruno said some stuff as well. Amarin said some stuff as well. But I think what Garnacho said, I think it bodies what everybody else said, because his stuff was just seriously unhinged, right? And I'm pretty sure you know what he said. He openly said, like, this team has been shit the whole season. We haven't managed to perform to where, and again, I'm just paraphrasing. He spoke about the Europa League final as well, saying that he was involved in every single game for the Europa League up until the final, when he just came in as a sub, and clearly he wasn't happy about that. Now, we have had players in the past, in the recent past, not even like long time ago, that have come out with such behavior, and we do not condone it at this club. All right. Sancho's had his fair share of being in the media. Martial's had his fair share of being in the media. Rashford has had his fair share of being in the media. The list goes on, right? It's a problem that is sort of like spiraling out of control at Manchester United. And I get, like, why the fan base is so angry with what Garnacho said. It's almost like that thing of, families, keep the stuff inside. Like, don't reveal what happens inside your own home to the outside world. Like, we all know we've been shit. We all know we haven't played well this season. He also hasn't played well this season. The whole team as a whole haven't played well this whole season. He shouldn't have come out and said what he said, right? So I don't condone that. I think he needs to leave the club. The only thing that I'm not really happy about from our fan base is the way we are sort of like attacking Garnacho, all right? Like, I get we're angry, but I think there's a line that needs to be drawn, all right? He's still young. What you saying that as I'm trying to make an excuse for him, right? And saying that as well does not mean that I'm tolerating his mannerisms, right? But I just don't think we need to go out there and start making personal attacks at the boy. Get the F out of my club. You and your what hairstyle. You and your so and so cars. You and your what. Like, nah, I don't think it needs to go that far. We know that he needs to leave. We're all on the same page. I don't think it needs to get that toxic where we're attacking this child in that sort of manner. These things happen in life. You live and you learn. Some people, when they're younger, they grasp these things easier or better than others. Some people, it takes them time later on in their careers for them to realize that, oh man, you know what I said back then, or how I was behaving, really inappropriate towards the club. But we need to draw a line. All right, we need to draw a line. These players, we can't allow players to just go out in the media and be saying things like that, and they think that we're just gonna sit back and allow that type of behavior to sit, right? We don't need that at this club right now. We don't need attitudes from Garnacho at this present time. He hasn't even put in the sort of numbers that can validate him to go and say such things out there in the media and make himself look like, oh no, I'm all right, but everybody else is shit. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm not starting, because me, this and that. Nah, it's a team sport. It's not about you, mate. So, which brings us back to this postseason match, right? And just from what we have heard on social media, that Garnacho has been told to find a new club, right? But if Garnacho's been told to find a new club, why is he on tour? you know? Like, honestly, why is he on tour? Because if he has been told to find a new club, you know, and he's completely been written off Ruben Amorim's books, what's the point of making him travel? What is the point? Because right now, the whole United fan base are not happy with him. And if anything, that just confuses the fan base even more. Because if Garnacho starts in these posts, look, and I know it doesn't mean anything, but it does have the potential to start stirring up more drama. Because now he travels and he plays, and then it's like, okay, what's going on? Worse, if he plays and he actually goes and scores goals, which again is no, you know, what can I say? No real achievement, because I mean, look at the teams that we're playing against. I mean, it'll almost be like if he doesn't score, it's like, mate, we were playing, you know what I mean? This sort of a team, you were supposed to score. So I don't think it does anyone any favors with Garnacho traveling and possibly even getting an opportunity to play. I think if he's been told to leave the club, he shouldn't be involved in any United activities from henceforth, right? He shouldn't travel anywhere. He shouldn't be in the training grounds. He shouldn't be playing any postseason friendly matches or whatever. He shouldn't be getting any United airtime, right? The mission should be freeze him out, you know, put him on the transfer market, get him out the club. That should be the way forward. It shouldn't be this flip-flopness of we're getting messages that he's been told to leave the club, but he's traveling with the squad to be involved in matches. And like I said, if he doesn't play, then it's like, what was the point of even making him travel in the first place? You're just loading him with more ammunition for him to come out and start talking more nonsense about the club. And we have to be logical. We have to sit here and be like, well, yeah, he's still continuing to talk shit, but he does have a point. Why did he fly out if he's not even going to have any minutes at all in the first place and he was asked to leave the club? You know, let him stay in Manchester United, let him get his stuff in order, and let him leave the club. It's as simple as that. But anyway, guys, we're playing on Wednesday. If you're in the UK, it is going to be 1:45 on Wednesday, time of kickoff. Everywhere else in the world, you just need to go check. I don't have all of that information readily available. I think Malaysian time, it will be 8 o'clock, which will be 7:45. That'll be the kickoff time. And yeah, I think that's it. And then we're playing on Friday, Hong Kong. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and catch you in the next one. Peace.